Alright guys, welcome back. So, if you've seen my last video, you know we were talking about 5 games that I would love to see get added to the Nintendo NSO app. Now, that was just 5 games that I absolutely loved that I thought were kind of hidden gems and sleeper hits throughout the GameCube's lifespan, right? I was a big GameCube guy, so I played a lot of the games that they released for it while it was the prevalent console, and even in my adulthood have still continued to buy, collect, and play them. So today I want to talk about 5 more GameCube games that I would love to see added to the NSO app that are more aimed towards adults and professional gamers. So stick around through the intro and we'll get into the list, and we'll see if there's some here that you consider classics as well. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff, and welcome back to my channel, John Doe Juggalo. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Like my daughter says, it's free and you can always change your mind later. If this is not your first time here, welcome back. This is where you're going to find me discussing my favorite things about movies and music, video games, and the physical medias that surround all of those types of mediums. So please sit back and relax and check out this next video. So we're going to start the list off today with a third-party game that is most definitely aimed more towards adults. Now, you know, some people might say, why are we even talking about third-party games? There's plenty of first-party. Yes, there is. But Nintendo's showing right from the beginning that they're willing to work with third parties. We have Namco releasing Soul Calibur 2. Now, granted, the GameCube edition does have Link in it, but it is still a third-party published game coming to the service. So, it keeps me very, very hopeful of some of these we're going to show off today. So we're going to start off with this third-party one. Now, this is not from Namco, it is from Capcom. And Nintendo and Capcom's relationship as of late has been really good. They get a lot of the ports for like the fighting collections and things like that. They've got their own Monster Hunter game that has since been ported, but there is exclusive Monster Hunter games and things made just for Switch. Capcom kind of just has to toe the line and stay kind of where the power is for the Switch versus what they're making for other consoles, which is probably why we don't get nearly as many of the new like Resident Evils and stuff. So I think this would be a great way for us to get one of the classic Resident Evils while we wait for them to possibly port the remakes. And what better classic to start with than Resident Evil 2? Now I know, I could have went with the Resident Evil remake, but the Resident Evil remake is all over the place to be able to play. You can play that thing on your PS4, the Xbox One, yes, the GameCube, the Wii. It's digital on the PS3, the 360. So there's many ways to play the GameCube remake. When it comes to the Resident Evil 2 original version, there are a lot of ways, but a lot of those ways are a lot more ancient than even 15 or 20 years. We're looking at like this being, you know, 25-ish years. Then it was out on the PS1 and the Dreamcast. And I believe that's all the systems. This version hasn't really been ported to newer consoles. So I think this would be a great way for people to experience what I believe to be an ultimate classic. Now, I grew up playing the Resident Evil games, and this one right here, for some reason, was just always my favorite. I'm not really sure why, but I just always enjoyed this one, even over the remake and well over Part 3. I think this is a great way to bring it in. And like I say, you know, this is another one of those ones that it's a single player. But this is the complete edition of the game. It has all the features, all the little extras, all in this version of the game. It even has the N64 extras, I believe, built into it as well, because there were some things kind of for the N64 that tied back to Resident Evil 0. So I think this would just be a really neat one to bring in and show us, the consumers, that Nintendo's willing to work with third parties of all sorts for all different types of experiences on the GameCube app. Next up is going to be another third-party game. But it is Namco, and we already know that Namco is releasing a game on the app on day one. So I think this would be a great opportunity for them to reintroduce people to the Dead to Rights series. Now, the sequel was never released on the GameCube. We only ever got the very first one. You know, great way for them to reintroduce this series to a whole new line of gamers. It is M-rated, it is mature. So I think this is kind of where we talk about them launching an 18 plus GameCube app. They did it for the N64, so why not for the GameCube, right? We should just go ahead and start putting that into the zeitgeist now, because there's plenty of good M-rated games, and these two are just the start. Now, next up is not an M-rated game, and it is a Nintendo first party. It's rated teen, but it's a little bit more towards the adult part of the franchise, just because of the difficulty of it. Now, I know I got some slack in my last video for not including this game as one that I wanted to add to the Switch Online app, and chose the other instead. So we're talking about Star Fox Assault. Yes, I do love this game. I just love adventures a little bit more. Now, what's neat about this is that it is pretty much everything that everybody wanted with Star Fox Adventures in terms of getting your R-Wing back and doing your flying and all of that. It also has some on the ground shooting missions and some stuff too. So it kind of mixes in the new Star Fox with the original Star Fox that the OGs liked. This is just a little bit higher on that difficulty level than Adventures is. So I'm going to throw it into the more adult aimed games that I would like to see on the app. This also does go along with the app very good, because it does have 4-player simultaneous multiplayer. So this would be a really good one, I think, to add to the online. Sorry about that, guys. Had somebody deciding, I guess, that holiday was a good day to do all their lawn work they do. I don't know. It's not the actual neighbor that does the lawn work. It's a guy that comes and works on the yard. Just decides, I guess, he's working on holiday week. Holiday. It's not holiday weekend. It's holiday. Anyhow, next up we have another Nintendo first-party published game, but they would have to start the M-rated app for this one, and I think this is a sleeper hit of a game. Some people talk about it pretty heavily nowadays as a sleeper hit, but originally we didn't know anybody that played this, just me and my brother, and we would play 2-player split screen all the time. And it has 4-player split screen, so I think it would be a great one to add to the membership. And that's going to be Geist. Now, this is a Nintendo first-party game, which I think is kind of crazy because I don't see any other names on here. Maybe whatever this is, this In Space. But, I mean, this is a full-on Nintendo first-party game that's rated mature. There wasn't a lot of those on the GameCube. So having one like this would be awesome to throw into that M-rated app. And it would just be a nice little extra for, you know, the people that grew up with the GameCube that are now adults, like myself and maybe you that's watching. Like I said, this was always a lot of fun. The multiplayer, wow, me and my little brother spent a lot of time growing up playing the multiplayer on this. We bring friends over, I think, and, you know, play some 4-player on it from time to time, but it was mainly just the two of us. This would be a great way to utilize that Nintendo Online membership and play 4-player at once. Because, you know, it is 4-player simultaneously. And the story, I feel like I remember the story in this game being just really awesome and kind of off the wall for, like, Nintendo to be making. So, like I said, I think, guys, it's a good one to get. Now, you know, I've talked about a few really good M-rated games, you know, mature-rated, adult content games for the GameCube, and you really didn't think that I was going to talk about the ones that I've talked about and not talk about the best one on the GameCube, in my opinion. And it is a GameCube first-party game. That is Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem. This game, oh my goodness, guys, this game was so awesome. Now, again, it's not multiplayer. There is no multiplayer aspect to it at all. It's a single player game. Think if Nintendo made their own Resident Evil. It's basically like Nintendo's Resident Evil, and it is a first party game. Now, it was made, you know, it was developed by Silicon Knights here, but Nintendo completely published it and paid for it to be made. So this is, in all intents and purposes, a Nintendo first-party game that is only on the GameCube and never got put anywhere else. This would put eyes on that Nintendo Online app. And this game is super expensive now. Like, it's not cheap at all. This is like an $80, $90, $100 game. And you gotta have a GameCube to be able to play it too. And GameCubes ain't cheap no more either. For this game and a GameCube, you're about halfway to a Switch 2 already. So if they added this, that would be a lot of bang for buck to the Switch Online membership. Like I said, and this, it doesn't say it on the case, but this is Progressive Scan. And the thing about Progressive Scan games is that Nintendo says that a lot of the games are being updated on the app and upscaled and whatnot. I feel like all the Progressive Scan games are the ones that are easily upgraded because they're already Progressive Scan. It already has it built into the game. So they're just upscaling 480p to like a 1080p, so a DVD to high def. That used to look good back in the day, so maybe they can have them running natively at like a 1080p, and then they upscale to your TV accordingly. That would make this game look freaking amazing. The story in this is awesome. Like I said, this is one that would be great. So here we go, guys. We got 5 more GameCube games that I would love to see on the GameCube NSO app. These are, in my opinion, more tailored towards the more adult gamer over the first list of 5 GameCube games that I'd like to see. Now, if you guys have been digging these lists, please let me know down in the comments below. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If you guys like these videos, I got a couple more of them we could probably get out and get some conversations rolling on some more other games and updates and stuff I'd like to see for the Switch 2. So if you're enjoying the Switch 2 content, please let me know down below. Share it out with your friends. Let's get the train rolling, guys. We're on our way to 1,000. We're getting there. So let's roll on. As you can maybe have seen below, there is a join button. You can join our memberships. That gets you early access to videos such as this one from time to time. It also gets you exclusive polls that help determine content that I make for the channel. And it just, you know, shows me that you want to give a little bit of extra support because you dig what I'm doing here. And every penny that I make here, I'm putting back into this channel in one form or another. So I would like to go ahead and thank my current members that I have. they go above and beyond, and I truly, truly appreciate it. It gives me the drive to want to do more on this platform. So I really do thank you, and I really do appreciate it. Or even subscribing. So just drop them comments down below. And until next time, remember guys, just to keep it physical.